Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, you guys are getting a 2-for-1 special because I reached out to the folks over at Hard Truth and they were nice enough to send over 2 bottles. So we've got the Sweet Mash RYE that was released back in 2021, and we've got the Sweet Mash Bourbon, which is a brand new release for 2024. Let's get it.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
So if you don't know anything about this company like me, I didn't know much about them, but if you go on their website, you can find out a lot of things. Apparently, they started in 2015 over top of a pizza shop, and then they moved up from that pizza shop in 2017 and started venturing out and being able to get some land, acquire some land, and getting a distillery built. So they didn't move into the new distillery until 2018. And in 2018, this was the first thing that they barreled. The brand new bourbon that they're releasing in 2024. They wanted to wait until this thing was aged and up to snuff, and I completely agree with that. We all know that ryes don't take as long to age as bourbon. Now, let's get into why they call it Sweet Mash. According to the website of Hard Truth, every batch of Hard Truth Sweet Mash whiskey begins with entirely fresh ingredients known as the Sweet Mash process, where sour mash reuses a portion of each previous batch. It also mutes some of those flavors. By using Sweet Mash, we're able to highlight the complexity and pleasant flavors from our grains and reach the peak flavor in our new charred American oak barrels. All that means to me is they start fresh with fresh yeast. They don't use any of the sour mash or any of the backset to kickstart the fermentation. So I tell you what, I just want to get these things in a glass. I don't want this thing to be too long, having 2. I don't want this to turn into like an 18-minute video. Of course, I did get some of the neck out of both of these just to try and let them breathe a little bit. So first of all, we're going to get into the sweet rye, because I like to do ryes first, because ryes can typically get a little grassy if I do bourbon first. So when I start off with the ryes, it just kind of helps it out. That smell, man. The smell coming out of that glass. Oh my gosh. All right. Get a little bit of the bourbon poured up. Now the color on both of these is actually pretty decent. You know, it's got a nice amber color. Neither of them are dark. You know, they're pretty, you know, like I said, like that light brown caramel color. The rye comes in at, I believe, 93 proof. Yeah, 93 proof. And the Sweet Mash bourbon comes in at 90 proof. So, you know, they're not going to punch you in the face. Both of these smell absolutely amazing. Let's get into the nose of the Sweet Mash rye. Heavy caramel and vanilla. A little bit of oak. There's almost a sweet fruitiness too. Like it's almost on that like cherry level. Let's get into the palate. I pick up a little bit of plum and like a toasted marshmallow note. That's nice. It's light. I don't want to use the term delicate, but it's nice. It's light. It comes across the palate. There's not a lot of spice. I feel more spice. I want to say I feel more spice in the throat and in the chest. It doesn't have any harsh alcohol notes in it. For it to be only aged just over 3 years, I don't pick up any harshness on it at all. Let's go back into the nose one more time. Yeah, that fruit note just kind of stayed in there. It's almost a cherry, but not quite. It's something else. Nice vanilla cream. More citric comes out of the glass now. Citrus. Let's go back into the palate. That's almost it almost comes across with a little bit of the citrus on the palate now. So I could say like plum, citrus, vanilla. It's sweet, but it's light. It's very light. It's got a decent mouthfeel. Don't get me wrong, it's got a decent mouthfeel. But that one thing that stands out to me is this toasted like marshmallow note that just kind of lingers, and I like that. It's almost like it's like a double oak product. Sometimes I pick that up on like double oak products. So I really do like that. I'll tell you what. Let's get into the nose of the sweet mash bourbon. Now the sweet mash bourbon is 5 years old, so it's 2 years older than this. This says aged at least 3 years, I believe. Yeah, aged over 3 years. Oh, that's a nice nose. That's fruity too. I don't pick up nearly as much vanilla like I did in this glass. This is like just mainly just all fruits. No plums though. This is more along the lines of like peaches and sour green apples. That one seems to have the better mouthfeel. Like I said, not that this one was bad. It was light in the palate. I don't want to call it delicate. It had a nice mouthfeel. This one comes off a little richer, and that's surprising because this is only a 90 proof pour right here. It's a little more spicier on the palate too. I pick up a little bit of almost like a maple syrup note going on the palate. Let's go back into the nose. The fruits are still there. Now I'm starting to pick up more vanilla. That one comes across like, and I've said this before, when you get those creamers like the French vanilla creamer or the Italian creamer. That's nice. Let's go back into the palate. That vanilla now starts to pick up on the palate. You get this sweet vanilla. You get like this sweet citrus note. Oh man, that's nice. You don't get that toasted marshmallow note like you did with this one. The finish is nice. This one is a little spicier on the palate. It's got a little bit of char on the back end. It is not harsh. No harsh notes from either one of these. And that is one thing that surprised me with this one right here, just being aged over 3 years. If I had to choose, I am going to have to say that the sweet mash bourbon is my favorite. This one is not far behind, and I know you guys know that I like my proof. It's only a 3 proof point difference, but I think there's a little more. This one, it's sweet. It's got this nice vanilla note. It's got a little bit of that citrus. It's got you know, just like I said, like a plum note in it. So and it's light. This one right here, it just seems a little more interesting. It's a little thicker on the palate. You've got a little bit more of citrus that comes across. You've got a little bit more pepper on it. You've got some char on the back. So it just kind of evolves more as you sip it than this one right here does. Let's go into the nose one more time because I am really liking this one. I'm not getting any youthful notes out of this thing, man. That's really nice. I really like that. Let's get into the breakdown. So, yes, they were sent to me. That is not going to impact how I grade these things in the breakdown. These are supposed to be on the shelf as daily pours. So we're not going to go into Chase. I will say that they are worth what the company is asking for them. I think we are in the day and age of what used to be 30 is now 45. I know, it's sad. I think we are at that point now where the big boys have reigned supreme for so long that they've been able to hold their prices at 30 when it comes to 90, 93, 95 proof products. And now we see a lot of smaller distilleries that have to make their money back, that don't make nearly as much as the big boys, and they have to charge a little more to make up for that. I think we are in the day and age of a $45 90 proof to 95 proof product. You know, I don't want to say sadly, but that's where we are. I think these two are priced appropriately. Would I give them to a new bourbon drinker? I would definitely give these to a new bourbon drinker. This one coming in at 93 proof, it is very nice and light on the palate. It offers some sweetness. It's got a little bit of plum going on in there. It is not spicy or spiky, or it has no harsh notes at all to be aged over 3 years. This one right here, 5 years old. I've had some stuff that's been a little older than this, a few years older than this, that has come across with very youthful, grainy notes. I don't pick any of that up in this product. I would definitely give this to a new bourbon drinker all day long. Will they always be on a bar? I have not seen these in my area. I don't know if Hard Truth has distribution in Maryland. So, you know, hopefully we can get it if we don't. But I have never seen any Hard Truth in Maryland. But at 45 bucks, if they come to Maryland, I enjoy them enough that they will always be on the bar. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head it to a drop. Till next time.